faces. Let the celebration begin.
The Oregon Ducks are going to the Final Four.
We are Oregon, always us.
Starting tonight for the Oregon Ducks. At forward, a 6'9" junior from Long Beach, California. Number 1, Jordan Bell. At forward, a 6'7" junior from Mississauga, Ontario, Canada. Number 24, Dylan Brooks. At guard, a 6'2" freshman from West Lynn, Oregon. Number 3, Peyton Pritchard. At guard, a 6'4" sophomore from Los Angeles, California. Number 5, Tyler Dorsey. And at guard, a 6'2" graduate from Brampton, Ontario, Canada. Number 31, Dylan Ennis. They are the 5-time national champions, making their 20th Final Four appearance. Let's meet the South Regional champion, North Carolina Tar Heels.
You can be confident in Coach Roy Williams and his Carolina team.
They've got the pedigree.
How about that drop step?
Jackson for 3. Spinning.
Wow.
Pack it up, pack it in. Let me begin. I came to win. Battle me. That's a sit. I came to get down.
Blocked. Hicks.
So get down 2 feet and jump around. Jump around.
An exclamation point.
Oh, wow.
Made for the win. North Carolina. Woo!
Roy is still dancing.
We are Carolina. Go Heels.
Starting tonight for the North Carolina Tar Heels. At forward, a 6'10" senior from Charlotte, North Carolina. Number 3, Kennedy Meeks. At forward, a 6'9" senior from Oxford, North Carolina. Number 4, Isaiah Hicks. At forward, a 6'8" junior from Tomball, Texas. Number 44, Justin Jackson. At guard, a 6'6" junior from Greensboro, North Carolina. Number 1, Theo Pinson. At guard, a 6' junior from Apopka, Florida. Number 2, Joe Berry II. And introducing the head coaches for Oregon. In his 7th season for the Ducks and coaching his 26th NCAA tournament game, Dana Altman. For North Carolina, in his 14th season for the Tar Heels and coaching his 99th NCAA tournament game, Roy Williams.
These are 2 teams that both love to push the pace. But at some point, who does this actually favor more, I guess?
Well, I think, first of all, if you're Oregon, every chance you get, you got to spot that soft zone pressure and back to your matchup zone. You got to try to create a slower pace because Carolina obviously wants to play fast. And I think that's going to be a big factor. They did a great job, Sam, against Kansas doing just that. I think it's kind of a similar script. The rebounding dynamic's probably the bigger difference.
It's a weird thing because Oregon's a smaller team, so you normally think the small team like South Carolina want to go, and they do. But North Carolina, not only are they big, they're athletic, they're fast. So they're not your average big, slow team, kind of like Gonzaga was. So it's going to be important that Oregon pick and choose their spots. They just can't walk the ball up and down the court. They got to pick and choose their spot, take their shots. Most important thing for them is when North Carolina put it on the glass, if Oregon can rebound it consistently, that's when you want to run because when you read the notes and the coaches give you a little tip of what they're thinking. Roy Williams already talked about pounding the ball inside and then in a dome where teams normally don't shoot well, offensive rebounding. So if he's going to commit 3 guys to the glass, then you got to commit guys to the glass, but they got to have enough energy after they rebound. They got to get out and run and make Carolina pay if you're going to try to punish me on the glass.
On the other side, if I'm Carolina, I got to somehow, some way keep Tyler Dorsey under control because he's been by far, as I mentioned earlier, the best player in this tournament. He's shooting over 66%, and he's shooting a high volume of shots from behind the arc. So you got to get out into him, make him take contested shots, get him off the line.
If he's guarding Justin Jackson, he's going to play both ends of the court.
It'll be an interesting
match. There's
a
size discrepancy there, too.
Hey.
Yeah, well, the Carolina's got more size. You know, obviously, Dylan Brooks, they need him to play better from an efficiency standpoint. And on the Carolina side, Joel Berry struggled shooting the ball in this tournament. He's only shooting 32%. You know, obviously the ankle issues have been in play, but they need him to play better in terms of shot making in general.
All right, enjoy the first half. Sean McDonough, Dickie V with the call.
Pinson of North Carolina, Theo Pinson, a very versatile defender, very athletic. That puts Isaiah Hicks on Dylan Ennis.
And we have a moving screen called against Oregon. Right out of the gate, Dylan Brooks called for the foul. The Pac-12 Player of the Year for Coach Dana Altman. In his 7th year at Oregon. And he's had a terrific run. School record 5th straight appearance in the NCAA tournament for the University of Oregon Ducks.
1-2-2 3/4 court pressure to start off. You're going to see a lot of changing defenses from Oregon.
Perry, well, if Roy Williams was concerned about his shooting in practice yesterday, perhaps those concerns relieved by the 3 made by Berry. Nice slip to the goal by Bell, but it was rejected by the very athletic Theo Pinson.
But what a recovery and block from Theo Pinson. That saved a sure basket. Little slip to the rim. And when Jordan Bell brought it behind his head, that allowed Theo Pinson to knock it away.
From the corner, the 3 wouldn't go for Tyler Dorsey. He's been the hottest shooter in this tournament, 65% from the field for 3. And then Jordan Bell denies Isaiah Hicks at the rim.
After a spectacular pass by Theo Pinson to get it to Hicks. We have already, Sean, seen 2 basket-saving blocks, and Jordan Bell has been the shot blocker of the tournament. He got that with his left hand. What a spectacular block.
Justin Jackson from the Houston, Texas area, Tomball, Texas. In for Isaiah Hicks. And he just missed an easy shot. Looked like he might have been anticipating defense that wasn't there. Then trouble on the dribble for Dylan Ennis, and already 3 Oregon turnovers in the first minute and a half.
Oregon looks a little shaky to start out this game, but North Carolina's got to finish plays if they want to take advantage of it.
Justin Jackson. Offensive rebound, Pinson. And Dana Altman's concerned about playing the size of North Carolina without Chris Boucher. Looks like it was a legitimate concern.
Well, you're going to have to block out, and all 5 guys in green are going to have to go to the defensive board. And Oregon did not do that, and North Carolina just played volleyball on the offensive glass. Very fortunate they didn't give up a wide open 3 there. Justin Jackson just missed it. Oftentimes when you get an offensive rebound, kick it out for a 3. That's the best open 3 you can get in basketball.
Brooks, tough shot. And they're scoreless 2 minutes into the game now.
Now when Theo Pinson pulls a rebound down, he doesn't have to outlet it. He can bring it up himself. And that's taking a little pressure off of Joel Berry, even though the advance is not as quick.
Isaiah Hicks, one of 4 players on the Carolina team with 1,000 career points. Berry's another one. Tough luck there as his 3 popped out. There's Peyton Pritchard, who leads the offense. Freshman from West Lynn, Oregon, with the first bucket of the game for the Ducks.
Smart play by Pritchard. He went right after Joel Berry, knowing that he's going to be a little bit shaky on those ankles.
Andy Meeks left alone. I think Oregon would let him have that shot all night long. Ennis from Brampton, Ontario, near Toronto, and Pritchard has all 5 points for Oregon, and all of a sudden they're even. Pritchard averages 7.5 points per game, has 5 already, 3 minutes in.
Well, Pritchard shot 42% from 3 during the Pac-12 season, but has really struggled in the tournament. He was 4 of 15 from 3 before knocking that down. The drive couple of possessions ago, just blew right past Joel Berry. Looked like Berry couldn't move as well, and it's got to be those ankles. Then when he caught it, Berry wasn't able to get right up into him, and Pritchard got into his shooting motion with complete ease and rhythm.
He was just called for that foul, and Kennedy Meeks, the free throw shooter, 64% from the line, for the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
How good.
A big tournament, 17 rebounds in their thrilling win in the Elite Eight over Kentucky.
I was just about to ask you, how good was he against Kentucky? Gets 17 rebounds against that front line. Kennedy Meeks already has over 1,000 rebounds in his career. That's a remarkable achievement for the senior from Charlotte, North Carolina.
He's 6th all-time in rebounds. So many great players at North Carolina over the years. 1,028 career rebounds for Meeks. 7 tonight, and he'll tie Bryce Johnson for 5th place all-time. Good reaction by Bell on a tough shot. And then when he realized there was nobody guarding him, he went ahead and shot it and made it.
Jordan Bell is so athletic, and he could be a real threat and difficult to guard. A little bit of a and now back to man out of it.
Joel Berry, the runner, no, but tipped in by Berry. 30 rebounding margin.
They get 15 offensive rebounds per game, and that comes out to about 42% of their own misses, and that's number 1 in the country as well.
That is their clear advantage, it would seem, tonight. They already have 4 offensive rebounds. Bell, terrific tournament, junior from Long Beach, California. He had a Oregon and 8 blocked shots in there. 1 seed, the Kansas Elite Eight.
Just so easy when he's got that single coverage. He just backed down Kennedy Meeks and took him right to the rim.
Isaiah Hicks missed. Ennis, who's playing for his 3rd university, started at Rice University, then Villanova. Now Oregon tried to jam it inside to Cavell Bigby Williams, and it's the 4th turnover. No basket. Justin Jackson fouled before the shot. That gets us to our first media timeout.
So Jordan Bell coming off a game in which he had 11 points, 13 rebounds, and 8 blocked shots. Just gathered himself instead of panicking in the lane, and then backing Kennedy Meeks down with the nice little right-handed jump hook over that left shoulder.
Sean McDonough, Jay Billis back in Glendale, Arizona. North Carolina and Oregon tied at 9. Oregon back in the Final Four for the first time since 1939. Wins over Iona in the first round, the champions of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. A hard-fought victory over Rhode Island that went right to the end. They survived the last-second shot to win from Michigan to eliminate the Wolverines in the Sweet 16. And then the big surprise, not so much they beat Kansas, although a lot of people love Kansas to win this entire tournament, but the margin of victory was very surprising.
Led the whole game, and Kansas really struggled. Kansas got it to within 6 points with a minute and a half, had an opportunity to get a defensive rebound and perhaps knock it down to a 1-possession game, but Oregon came up with it, knocked into 3, moved it to 9, and that was the end of it. It's a terrific performance by Oregon. And North Carolina's really struggling. All the Tar Heel points have come off Oregon turnovers and offensive rebounds, but their offense has not looked good thus far.
Luke May in off the bench, missed the shot. He was the hero of their win Sunday against Kentucky. Ennis. That rattled out as Oregon, after falling behind 5-0 to start, was bidding to take the lead. Theo Pinson missed about half the season with foot injuries. Now Ennis the hit ahead. Casey Benson in off the bench. The starting point guard Pritchard has 2 fouls. Ennis another miss. Offensive rebound by Bigby Williams.
One of the first second chance opportunities for Oregon. North Carolina's had several.
Tyler Dorsey, they call him Mr. March. He's had 7 straight 20-point games. Ted Valentine calls Casey Benson, the junior from right down the street here in Tempe, Arizona, for the 5th turnover for Oregon.
And Casey Benson, the lefty, good defender, comes in off the bench, can knock down open shots, and an excellent passer. A bit of full court pressure right now for Oregon. Just helps them slow the advance a little bit, take some time off the clock. They'll give multiple looks to North Carolina in the half court. They play man, they play a matchup zone, they switch out of their man, and it can be affecting to see so many different looks.
Nate Britt on the court. Senior guard number 0, playing in his 150th career game for North Carolina. Berry a miss. Brooks the rebound. Another chance for the lead for Oregon.
And one thing Oregon's not doing is punching the ball inside, while Oregon is.
6 turnovers. So Carolina can't make a shot, and Oregon can't hang on to the ball. That's about the storyline of this first 6+ minutes.
Well, ultimately, if you keep getting shots at the basket, some of them are going to go in. You give yourself an opportunity to get fouled, an opportunity for an offensive rebound. With these turnovers, it's remarkable that Oregon's tied at 9 after coughing the ball up 6 times. North Carolina, Sean, I think, needs to start looking to get the ball inside in the paint. Try to put some fouls on Oregon, or at least the opportunity for some fouls, instead of being a jump shooting team.
Saw the talented freshman, Tony Bradley, number 5, who's come in. More size for North Carolina at 6'11", 240 pounds.
Justin Jackson also needs to get open for a shot. He moves very well without the ball.
Jackson.
See if Oregon changes defense and come out of his zone a little bit, just to give Carolina a different look. And let's see what Roy Williams does. See if he tries to push the pace and seeking to get more rim runs. Can he continue to pound the ball inside?
It's going to be an exciting second half. Let's go down to Sean McDonough and Jay Billis.
Boy, Tyler Dorsey and Dylan Brooks, they've had a great NCAA tournament, both of them scoring at a high clip. But in this game, Tyler Dorsey has yet to make a field goal. He's got 4 free throws, and Dylan Brooks has coughed the ball up 4 times. 4 turnovers, only 6 points. Those two have to get going for Oregon to win this game and meet Gonzaga in the final.
Dorsey, in their first 4 games of this NCAA tournament, 17 for 26 from 3-point range, 65%. He's on pace to set the NCAA tournament record for 3-point percentage. He hasn't even taken a 3-point shot tonight. North Carolina's done a good job guarding Tyler Dorsey beyond the arc. It'll be Carolina ball to begin the second half. Justin Jackson plays it in. Joel Berry with Kennedy Meeks, Isaiah Hicks, and Theo Pinson.
Dana Altman going to stick with this, essentially this matchup zone. At times it can look like switching man. They will go with you when you cut through, but it's really a zone defense.
Hicks in traffic, way off with the shot. He's 1 for 7 now from the floor. Isaiah Hicks, senior from Oxford, North Carolina. Hayden Pritchard, bothered by foul trouble, has it back from Dorsey. Dylan Brooks used the Jordan Bell screen. 3 wouldn't go for Pritchard. Bell got a finger on it, couldn't corral it.
And Dylan Brooks was guarded by Joel Berry. He needed to take Berry to the rim there, because Berry is really struggling with those ankles. It does not look like the Joel Berry that played so great all season long. He's just a shadow of what he was before he was injured.
And just another shot. There's Ennis to the bucket. Dylan Ennis brings Oregon back within a point. He's their first player to reach double figures. Meeks leads all scorers with those 14 points. Hicks with Brooks flapping away, a lot of bumping. They let them go. And a tip in by Meeks.
Kennedy Meeks, nobody can get a body on Kennedy Meeks to keep him off the glass. And even though Isaiah Hicks missed that shot against Dylan Brooks, it's forcing Dylan Brooks to guard in the paint, and it's giving North Carolina chances for second chance opportunities.
Dennis had a good open look at the three, missed it. Bell rebounded for Oregon.
Tyler Dorsey is not moving at all.
Brooks long, tough fadeaway. Brooks 2 out of 9 from the floor.
North Carolina's best offense has been a missed shot. Joel Berry, really for the first time in the ball game, able to get into the paint in a semi-break transition. Then a difficult assignment for Dylan Brooks to have to guard down in the low post, but nobody gets a body on Kennedy Meeks. That's 2 follow shots in a row, 4 points for the big guy on the offensive glass. And that is really an offense unto itself for North Carolina, their offensive rebounding.
Meeks' season high is 20 points. He did that twice leading up to the NCAA tournament. There's Berry. Can't get a shot to go again, that time with the left-handed layup, and it's out of bounds.
I think they called a foul. They called a foul on Kennedy Meeks over the back.
They did.
Not a fan of that call. I don't think it was worthy of that, but Joel Berry, one of the outstanding finishers. See, that's just rebounding there. That's one area where I think the rules emphasis has gone a little bit too far. The players can be physical when they're rebounding. There's very little contact there that warranted a foul. That's just called rebounding.
And a second foul on Meeks. Bell trying to decide what to do. They come to double him. Looked like he traveled. He turned it over either way. Meeks ahead. They gave it to Jackson, and it's the largest lead for North Carolina.
But Jordan Bell just waited for that trap to come get him, and the ball never hit the floor.
Now pressured by Berry. Pritchard in trouble. Great effort by Pinson right in front of his fired-up bench, trying to save it. Roy Williams down there to give him a pat on the backside.
Joel Berry comes over to trap Jordan Bell. And that ball, when it was outletted to May, never hit the deck until it went through the net. That was a beautiful break after the turnover.
Timeout, Oregon with North Carolina on a 7-0 run for an 8-point lead.
North Carolina with the opportunistic trap on Jordan Bell. Bell not expecting it, turns it over. And a fabulous outlet pass by Kennedy Meeks and Luke May right to Justin Jackson for the quick 3 in transition where the ball never hit the deck. And North Carolina, Sean, has done a very good job in the second half with its defense. And that's going to be the difference in the game. Isaiah Hicks, I'm not sure whether he's having cramp issues, but he had to leave the floor. And Luke May came into the ball game for him. That gives North Carolina a little bit more shooting.
There's Dorsey with the 3. Wasn't able to even get off the 3 in the first half. So he continues to shoot a record percentage in this NCAA tournament, where it looked like Meeks got a little shove in the back on the catch. He still scored. He could be on his way to a career high in points tonight. His career high is 25. That was against Temple early last season. He has 20 tonight with more than 16 minutes to go.
Just a simple little back screen action. North Carolina able to take advantage of. Oregon's not defending at a high level right now.
Oregon, a red-hot team, winners of 12 of their last 13 games. Good ball movement. Dorsey wide left with that one. He was wide open. Luke May corrals the rebound for North Carolina.
Get a shot that open and has been as hot as Tyler Dorsey. It can be a little bit deflating for Oregon to see that shot miss.
Back into Meeks, and why not? Passes out of the double. Joel Berry called for a travel.
North Carolina relentless with the way they play. Was supposed to be a little wing back screen, never got any contact, but still able to throw right over the top. No pressure on the ball, nobody guarding Kennedy Meeks, Tyler Dorsey on him. Way too easy for Oregon to give that up.
Follow the shot makers.
How about that?
Record breakers.
Mr. 58 is Jim Furyk.
And history chasers all season long with Golf Talk Canada.
Look at this. Get it again.
Join Mark Zecchino and Bob Weeks every week as they break down golf's biggest stories.
He can win this one. He can win anything.
Along with insight and analysis from the game's most influential people. Golf Talk Canada presented by Acura. Wednesdays on TSN 4.
Back at University of Phoenix Stadium, Glendale, Arizona. Second national semifinal. North Carolina leading Oregon by 7. The winner will play Gonzaga Monday night for the national title.
North Carolina, the best offensive rebounding team in the country. They get second chance opportunities on 42% of their misses. Early on, North Carolina was scoring off the offensive glass, and late, it has been Kennedy Meeks. Nobody turning around to put a body on Kennedy Meeks. He's got 8 rebounds in the game, 6 of them on the offensive end. North Carolina has 10 second chance points in the game, and Kennedy Meeks has 20 points all by himself. Really a great game thus far for Kennedy Meeks, following up that 17 rebound performance he had against Kentucky.
That's a 3 for Pritchard that wouldn't go. Another rebound for Meeks is 9th, so he is 1 rebound away from a 20-point, 10-rebound double-double. He's moved into the top 5 in North Carolina history in rebounding now with his 9 rebounds tonight. He just moved past Bryce Johnson into 5th all-time. And he has another rebound for the double-double. His 25th career double-double, his 13th this season. He scored more points in the paint than Oregon has as a team.
Well, North Carolina just turned the ball over trying to get it into Meeks.
Very good-looking shot that time. A little unlucky as it popped out. Oregon down 7. Dorsey fouled. Got knocked to the deck after missing the layup. And that's the 3rd foul on Kennedy Meeks.
Meeks went up to block the shot. The call was late, but there was contact. Oftentimes what happens, there was a little, actually the contact came from Tyler Dorsey throwing out his left arm. But oftentimes, Sean, what an official do is wait until the outcome of the play, and if the shot's made, sometimes they don't call something that's a minor contact and wind up calling it after it's missed.
So Meeks goes out. How about the players he's passed on North Carolina's all-time rebounding list just in this NCAA tournament? We mentioned Bryce Johnson. He moved past tonight into 5th all-time. Earlier in this tournament, he moved past Antoine Jamison, Mitch Kupchak, and Brad Doherty on the all-time rebounding list.
Remarkable. He just had a very productive career. There's that 1-2-2 3/4 court pressure. Nate Britt back in the ball game gives North Carolina another ball handler. Not necessarily a great shooter, but an excellent defender.
Jackson picked it up late in the first half after a slow start, turned it over, got stuck in the air, threw it to Casey Benson. This one looked like Carolina might pull away. Chance for Oregon to make it a one-possession game as we approach 14 minutes to go, and it is. Dylan Ennis swooping to the bucket. The senior, oldest player in this NCAA tournament at 25 years old. And a three by Justin Jackson.
That's why North Carolina doesn't want to force it. They've made some dumb plays on the offensive end, turning the ball over. And
held ball.
Yeah, speaking of that, Dylan Ennis taking it into trouble for no reason, but on the pick and roll, Tony Bradley does not do a very good job of guarding that pick and roll with his man as the screener. That's North Carolina, Sean, getting a quick basket after they give one up just because they relentlessly push the ball up the floor.
Trouble getting it in. They do get it into Dylan Brooks. And a foul called on North Carolina. He tried to split the defense of Nate Britt, Tony Bradley.
I think Oregon needs to put North Carolina into as many ball screen and dribble handoff situation as they can. And then attack the North Carolina big guys out on the perimeter.
Bradley's foul is first. Third team foul on the Tar Heels. Oregon has not been called for a foul more than 6 minutes into the second half. Brooks got May in the air and got the contact. 3 fouls on Luke May.
Luke May did a good job of staying in front, but just went for that fake, and a smart play by Dylan Brooks. Just can't leave the floor. You have to be, as the defender, the second man to leave the floor after the offensive player. So a really smart move by Dylan Brooks.
A good free throw shooter. Now 16 for his last 16. Brooks with 7 points tonight, 1,609 in his career. That's 10th all-time at Oregon, but it's the most before the end of his junior season for any player in Oregon history.
Well, that's one player, Sean, Dylan Brooks, that can get hot in a hurry. He can make contested shots. A lot of guys can make open shots. He can make the contested ones. Good pass.
Hicks tried to throw it down. Carolina bench wanted a foul called. Ennis missed the layup. Exploded to the bucket, but too strong off the glass, and a great missed opportunity for the Ducks. Catch and shoot! And Justin Jackson a three.
I think he likes that corner. Hit 2 in a row from over there, both of them in transition before the defense could get set.
Yeah, that was a very quick catch and shoot. He's had 3 threes in this half. And Benson fouled.
Looks like they got Joel Berry. But Justin Jackson does a great job of running the floor, getting down court to where his teammates can pass ahead, and he can get an opportunistic 3 in transition. If you close out on him, he can drive it and hit that floater.
2 fouls on Berry. Carolina fans booing. They see the numbers you see on the screen. 5 team fouls to none. Good hands by Jackson. Race for the ball. He beat Dorsey to it. Tough shot. There's a foul on Dorsey. And Jackson went down hard. Will shoot 2.
The sloppiness for Oregon continues on the offensive end. Simple guard-to-guard pass. And Justin Jackson able to shoot the gap. He pointed out his long arms. And now he goes to the free throw line to extend this 7-point lead.
Because he plays with such a smoothness and largely on the perimeter. People don't realize he is 6'8".
And he's constant motion on the offensive end. Almost very good condition and almost never stands on offense. Moves without the ball, that makes him really difficult to guard. Eventually he's going to get you on a cut or you're going to lose him, and he's going to find his way to the three-point line.
Census All-American this year. The 18th North Carolina player to be a consensus first-team All-American. Some of the great names in the history of college basketball on that list, including Michael Jordan. Bell, when spinning toward the goal, threw it out for a 3 that's long out of the left hand of Casey Benton.
I wonder if Jordan Bell is going to get worn down in this game. He's had to go 1-on-4 against all these Carolina big guys.
Really a bad shot there by Berry. It leads to a run out by Ennis. He's starting to dominate inside. Berry can't make a shot from the outside. They're at the beginning of the shot clock, and he fires up that three with the game going their way.
I think you're exactly right. Just a question of judgment on the offensive end.
2 fouls now on Dylan Brooks. Cavell Bigby Williams comes in. Oregon has played 8 men, but Keith Smith played only 2 minutes, and Williams has played only 8 minutes. There's Pritchard back in.
Dana Altman trying to give Jordan Bell a little bit of a rest before the under 12-minute timeout. Just try to get as much out of him as he can because he's going 1-on-4 in there.
Boy, Hicks cannot throw it into the bucket at all tonight. He's now 1 for 10 from the floor. Timeout on the floor. Under 12 minutes to go.
Justin Jackson, the ACC Player of the Year, first-team All-America in transition. He has been absolutely deadly, especially from that left corner.
Sean McDonough, Jay Billis back at University of Phoenix Stadium, Glendale, Arizona, North Carolina, behind Justin Jackson and Kennedy Meeks. They've opened up a 7-point lead. They've combined for all of the points in this second half. 40 total, but 17 in the second half from that duo. They have all of North Carolina's points since halftime.
And where would North Carolina be without those two? In the game, they are 15 of 21.
I think they'd still be in Glendale, Arizona, but the score.
But they'd be behind in Glendale, Arizona.
Benson trying to turn the corner, took a bump. Speaking of Glendale, Arizona, 77,612 the attendance here tonight. The football stadium primarily seats about 65,000 for football, with all the extra seating you can put in here with a much smaller basketball court than a football field. 77,612. Many of them a long way from the court, but this is a beautiful stadium. I think it's the first time you've been in here this week, right?
Well, no, I've been in here before, but never when the court was in the middle of the stadium. Several years ago, I was here for an NCAA tournament game when the court was in an end zone of the stadium, so it was a lot more intimate than the 75,000 strong that we have here tonight. And I was up in the upper deck on Friday. That's where our broadcast position was for a lot of ESPN Sports Center segments and things we were doing during the day. And you couldn't make out anything as far as who was who when you're that high up. It's really a gigantic building.
There are mammoth video screens, part of the scoreboard overhead. A lot of people probably just watching that. But they want to be here. The Final Four want to be great sporting spectacles in the United States, and being watched tonight worldwide. Delighted to have you with us all over the world tonight. There's a held ball. Possession arrow North Carolina on the tie-up as Brooks reached in to wrap it up with Isaiah Hicks.
Isaiah Hicks has really struggled this game. Probably fortunate he wasn't called for a walk as he was backing in Cavell Bigby Williams down low. Isaiah Hicks 1 of 10 in this game.
But they lead by 7, and the Tar Heels have the ball. Jackson misses. Dylan Brooks the rebound. From Canada that played high school ball at Findlay Prep just outside Las Vegas. Another 3 for Dorsey. He may never miss again.
Boy, how deep was that? Tyler Dorsey just 4 points at halftime, all of them free throws, and he has found his range in the second half.
Hicks, wow, wild shot. His nightmarish evening continues. Again underneath and rejected by Cavell Bigby Williams, the junior from London, England, the first player from England to play for the Oregon Ducks.
Well, that shot by Dorsey in transition, just coming around a little brush screen, and the handoff by Dylan Brooks. That was 25 feet, 26 feet at least.
And the block by Bigby Williams. He's just the 3rd British player ever to play in the Final Four. Carl Brown of Georgia Tech in 1990. Luol Deng of Duke, or as Jay calls it, the university Jay Billis built. That was in 2004, and that's Theo Pinson.
Just the 6th bucket by a Tar Heel other than Kennedy Meeks or Justin Jackson.
Nearing the midpoint of the second half, the winner will play Gonzaga for the national championship here on Monday night. In trouble, Pritchard got it off to Benson. They're both in the game at the same time. That's unusual. Bad pass by Brooks. Jackson saw it coming. The easy interception.
Nowhere to go.
Britt, now May blocked. Brooks held his ground. Out of bounds to Oregon exactly midway through the second half.
Really good pass. The penetration by Nate Britt getting the ball to Kennedy Meeks, and Meeks alertly passing the ball to Theo Pinson. Not a great three-point shooter, but when you're that wide open, it's a shot that you have to take.
Oregon within 7. Oregon within 5. Dylan Ennis, another bucket. He leads Oregon with 16 points. The average is under 11 per game at 10.7. Berry fouled on the drive. Just the 3rd Oregon foul of the half.
Well, Dylan Ennis really doing a smart thing here. He got a mismatch, got Luke May guarding him, and May not as quick laterally. And immediately Ennis decided to drive the bigger North Carolina defender, Luke May.
And he got called for his first foul at the other end. So here's Berry, number 10 all-time in career free throw percentage at North Carolina, 82.4%. For the junior from Apopka, Florida, near Orlando, 3 times the Florida State High School Player of the Year.
Have to give Joel Berry a ton of credit. He is playing hurt. He is one tough player out there.
Nice move. Boy, Ennis having a very nice night. Granted a 6th year of eligibility by the NCAA because he played in just a handful of games last year with a foot injury. We mentioned the time spent at Rice University in Houston. Villanova outside of Philadelphia. Pinson off to Meeks for the easy drop in.
Boy, that was an over-the-shoulder pass backwards to Kennedy Meeks from Theo Pinson.
Dorsey thought he got hit on the release. The 22 points for Kennedy Meeks, a season high, and 3 shy of his career high. Sets a high screen for Berry, and now tries to post. And Dylan Brooks called for a hand check on Justin Jackson. 3rd foul on Brooks.
Little straight line drive by Theo Pinson, took it a little bit under the basket, then kicked it right back over his shoulder. A very difficult pass to complete, but Kennedy Meeks right there. And Dylan Brooks trying to guard Justin Jackson, fouled him. He's going to go to the bench, get a little blow. What a really bad shot the last Oregon possession by Tyler Dorsey. He said he thought he got fouled, and maybe he did, but that was really a poor decision to take that shot.
Berry, shot still off tonight. Meeks another rebound. Meeks is fouled. Kennedy Meeks leading the way through this NCAA tournament for the North Carolina Tar Heels. A young man who has driven Roy Williams, his coach, crazy from time to time over the last few years. Isn't always as fully engaged as Roy would like him to be.
Well, he's engaged enough to grab 1,030 rebounds or so in his career. You know, Roy's got high standards, but that's pretty impressive. But
it's a good question to ask Roy. If he was engaged, how many rebounds?
How many would he have?
10,000?
You know, Jordan Bell's really having a tough time. He's having to block out everybody. You know, Dylan Ennis, that was his responsibility to put a body on Kennedy Meeks, but Ennis isn't used to blocking out a guy 6'10", 270 pounds.
Right.
And Jordan Bell is that's starting to wear him down. This is where North Carolina can get to Oregon, by wearing him down to the last 10 minutes of the game.
Obviously, Oregon has survived nicely without Chris Boucher, their 6'10" senior, great shot blocker, before tonight. But Dana Altman said he was really concerned about the absence of Boucher in this matchup against the size of North Carolina. And those concerns have come to the forefront here.
Just a great job by Theo Pinson to get that rebound.
25 points for Meeks, matches his career high. He tips it out. And here come the Tar Heels, leading by 10, their largest lead of the night.
This is where North Carolina needs to punch it inside.
Jackson tried to. He cammed it off the foot of Dorsey. Ted Valentine isn't sure if it hit Jackson on the way out.
I thought it went off Jackson.
And the side official, Ron Gruber, wasn't sure either. So they go to the arrow and nobody knows for sure. And the ball goes over to Oregon. Under 2 minutes, they could go to the monitor to redo it, but not now.
Nobody blocks out Theo Pinson. He's able to get across the lane, and it looked like Casey Benson should have had it, but Pinson just took it right away from him. And that's the kind of 50-50 ball play that can make a huge difference in a game. That should have been Oregon's ball, but North Carolina and Theo Pinson specifically outfought Oregon for the ball.
Dorsey for Brooks. Goes past Jackson. Oh, Kennedy Meeks laid him out on the shot attempt, and none of that mattered anyway because there was a foul on the drive. Called on Justin Jackson, his first, an immediate timeout. Woo. Let's go back to that possession call, and I think the officials got it right. It did hit Justin Jackson on the way out.
No, but they called it jump ball. They went to the possession arrow.
They flipped the coin. The arrow got it right.
This is the best game with the best players. Let's go, let's go, let's go, let's go.
TSN tips it up with the NBA's biggest stars.
Everybody out of my way, it's time to dance.
Get courtside.
An absolute thing of beauty.
For the best spectacle in sports all season long.
Oh my goodness. Superhuman.
Until a champion is crowned. For a complete NBA schedule, go to tsn.ca/NBA.
Almost a record crowd here inside University of Phoenix Stadium for this national semifinal doubleheader. Carolina leading this game with 7:48 to go. Gonzaga winner earlier by 4 over South Carolina. Gonzaga will play the winner of this one Monday night. 77,612 the attendance here tonight. Second largest crowd in the history of the NCAA tournament, surpassed only by the 79,444 at AT&T Stadium outside Dallas, Texas, for the national semifinal doubleheader in 2014. It's the home of the Dallas Cowboys here in the States, sometimes known as Jerry World, for Jerry Jones, the owner of the Cowboys, who built it. It's a mammoth stadium. They can put more than 100,000 people in there.
Biggest scoreboard I've ever seen. It's in that stadium. It's unbelievable.
Enormous. You go in there, watch a sporting event, and people aren't even looking at the court or the field. They're looking up at the screens. Dylan Brooks, a couple of free throws. Oregon will bring some pressure down by 8. Under 8 minutes to go. So many good ball handlers for North Carolina, including Nate Britt. He and Isaiah Hicks each playing in career game number 150 tonight. Only Deion Thompson has played more games in the Carolina Blue. He played in 152. And only one more game left for Carolina if they win tonight. So Britt and Hicks will come up one shy of the all-time record for games played if they play Monday night. That is still to be determined. Ennis doing his best to get the Ducks there and Bell the tip in.
Well, I don't know what Theo Pinson was thinking on the offensive end, taking the shot that he did. Not that he can't make that. But North Carolina, the players other than Kennedy Meeks and Justin Jackson are struggling too much.
Big Britt to the bucket. Big basket for the senior from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. He went to Gonzaga College High School, although I think in D.C. they call it Gonzaga College High School. But he might have a chance to play against Gonzaga University for the national championship. Dorsey fouled on the exterior, and that's 3 fouls on Joel Berry.
Got away with a little push-off on Tyler Dorsey, but just got his shoulders past. But after that poor shot by Theo Pinson, Pinson gives up the middle drive. And George Bell able to get the tip in with that left hand over Kennedy Meeks.
First free throw up and good for Dorsey.
It's really incredible for North Carolina that Kennedy Meeks and Justin Jackson have 45 of their points, only 7 field goals made by players other than Meeks and Jackson. They've carried a big load in this game.
Oregon trying to press again. A hard team to turn over with all the veteran ball handling experience on this Carolina team.
Switch now, Tyler Dorsey guarding Justin Jackson. Oregon having to go to man to try to make something happen. They played mostly matchup zone.
For Coach Dana Altman, Berry another miss. And I believe there's an Oregon foul as Berry got knocked to the deck by Dylan Ennis, his second, 6-team foul. So the next one will put Oregon over the limit. Both teams will be in the bonus.
Joel Berry has no explosion, Sean.
No.
You know, those are shots. The shots he's been missing around the basket, he's one of the better finishing guards in the country. When he goes to the basket, he always keeps his eyes on the rim and finishes most of those plays. He's not finishing anything right now.
One of the best point guards in the country, one of the 5 finalists for the Bob Cousy Award to the best point guard in the country. He's 1 for 11 tonight, and Isaiah Hicks is 1 for 12. Ennis denied Meeks at the rim. Berry, can he make one? Yes!
A tremendous block, but anytime you can get the defense drawn in and kick it out, that was as good as an offensive rebound and a great kick out for that 3.
The lead back to 9, a step back 3, wouldn't drop for Dylan Brooks, and then a North Carolina foul on the rebounding action.
Great post up by Kennedy Meeks. It was blocked, looked like, by George Bell, and then a great kick out by Theo Pinson to a wide open Joel Berry. He made his first 3 and then that one in between. It's been a mighty struggle for the point guard from Apopka, Florida, that's playing on 2 bum wheels.
Nate Britt called for his 4th foul, just 18 minutes of action, so he's going to go out. Replaced by Isaiah Hicks. Dorsey made the first free throw. He's come on, trying to extend his streak of 20-point-plus games to 8 in a row. They've started calling him Mr. March. He's been so outstanding in the Pac-12 tournament and here in the NCAA. Berry knocked down. Even on those bum ankles, he was charging right down the middle of the lane. And Dylan Brooks got called for his 4th foul, and that could be devastating should he foul out.
Just got tripped by Brooks, and good call by the official because Brooks was not in position. It wasn't like he tripped over him. He got tripped by him.
So he'll have to be very careful the next foul, and he will foul out. Berry misses the front of the 1-and-1. 5.5 minutes to go. North Carolina by 7. The winner to play Gonzaga for the national championship on Monday night.
Really right now for North Carolina, this is about getting stops.
Ennis Step back three wouldn't go. The long rebound to Pritchard, left alone. His three's long, and then Pinson got fouled by Jordan Bell. Theo Pinson will shoot a 1-and-1 after the second personal on Bell. Bell, the Pac-12 Defensive Player of the Year. First Oregon player ever to win that honor. And Al Pinson, 68% for the year from the free throw line.
You see Jordan Bell in that low slot, just bent over at the waist. He is gassed right now, and for good reason. I mean, he has had to play so hard in this game, and he's going against all these big bodies of that North Carolina front line.
He's played 30 minutes. Dorsey's played 33 minutes to lead Oregon almost the entire game.
Yeah, their minutes have gone way up, obviously, in the NCAA tournament. Almost another turnover.
And without Boucher, they're playing a man shorter than usual. Now a North Carolina foul with 4:50 to go will send Oregon back to the free throw line. It's on Kennedy Meeks, and that's 4 on Meeks, so he's been the best player in the game tonight for either team with 25 points and 12 rebounds, and now he's one away from fouling out.
If Roy Williams is going to take him out, looks like Tony Bradley about to get up and go to the scorer's table in between free throws. He cannot afford to have Kennedy Meeks out down the stretch. Can't lose him over a foul with just under 5 minutes.
4-minute timeout.
Yep. Well, I don't know if he will. That'll be interesting to see, but he's been so valuable not only on the glass but in finishing plays.
1 out of 2 for Bell. Bell 12 rebounds tonight. He's now had at least 12 rebounds in each of his last 6 NCAA tournament games. Last player to do that, Hakeem Olajuwon, one of the great players of all time for Houston, back in 1985.
Back to the matchup zone for Oregon.
Berry had it deflected by Bell up at the three-point line. The Oregon ball down by 7, 4:20 to go.
A poor possession offensively for North Carolina.
They need it from Dorsey. They don't get it. A little long. You wonder about the legs. Bell, good effort. Ball hit the sideline. It's going to be North Carolina giving it back to Oregon.
Well, that's odd. I thought that Jordan Bell got his hand on that ball. If it went off of anybody, it would have been him, but that's opposite the court from us.
Yes. Right in front of the Oregon bench. They seem to know it immediately. Bell working on the freshman Bradley. Couple of moves and a foul. Jordan Bell, nifty around the goal. Will go back to the free throw line. Bradley called for the foul. His second.
It's a smart move by Jordan Bell. Backs. Once you get 2 feet in the paint, it's over. And the real mistake was fouling there. Just make him make the shot over you.
Keith Smith, their 8th man, and he's played just 2 minutes tonight. He did score a bucket in the first half.
That's just to give Dylan Brooks a little bit of a blow and a defensive change so he doesn't pick up his last foul.
Oregon staying in the game at the free throw line. Jackson's pass too hot to handle for Bradley, but Carolina keeps it. Oregon is 23 out of 26 from the free throw line. They've outscored North Carolina by 9 points from the line, 23-14. They're still down by 5 as we approach 3.5 minutes to go. Jackson deep in the shot clock.
What a bad possession for North Carolina. Oregon went back man.
Bell, wow, they really don't need acrobatic time there, although most of the time they'd execute that. But that was a critical possession. Perhaps they try to get a bit too fancy. Then an Oregon foul to the chagrin of Dana Altman. tied at 74. Archie Diacono off to Jenkins for the win! National championship for Villanova! That was 1 year ago in Houston. There is Chris Jenkins of Villanova here to watch tonight. He and Nate Britt brothers, they played against each other last year. That's why he's behind the Carolina bench. There's Justin Jackson. This will be the last 1-and-1 shot by North Carolina. Next foul will be the double bonus. It's committed by Oregon. And Jackson makes the first free throw.
So Jackson had a 1-and-1 against Kentucky with an opportunity to salt the game away, missed that front end. Those are two big ones to knock down to give North Carolina a 7-point lead with 3.5 to go.
Big turnover on that last possession for Oregon. Have to capitalize on just about every opportunity now, down by 7.
2-3 zone for North Carolina. Defensive change against a team that loves to change defenses.
Ted Valentine with a call. He's never shy to blow the whistle. We're going to see both teams with a double bonus in this half. Theo Pinson called for his third foul. Yeah, the zone worked well for Roy Williams earlier in this tournament against Kentucky. So here's Dorsey.
Well, the one thing you don't want to do out of a zone, or man for that matter, is a foul at that situation because it stops the clock.
Dorsey makes both, so their excellence from the free throw line continues as a team. 89% plus from the line for Oregon. Pinson through the traffic, missed the layup, and the rebound down to Bell. Bell with a double-double tonight, is 4th in this tournament, tying the Pac-12 record for a single NCAA tournament.
North Carolina back to man after the missed field goal by Pinson on the other end.
Oh, Brooks, a very deep three, doesn't get the bounce, and Kennedy Meeks the rebound. Oregon's gone 4 minutes 40 seconds without a field goal.
North Carolina going against man-to-man now by Oregon. Need to punch the ball inside. Jackson guarded by Tyler Dorsey out front.
Kennedy Meeks 13 rebounds to go with his career high, tying 25 points. Carolina in no hurry with a 5-point lead. Shot clock at 3. Barry had it swatted in his face by Jordan Bell. Ennis working on Jackson, and that's blocked. Dana Altman wanted a foul, out of bounds. Officials conferring. This will be a monitor situation here, I'm sure. Under 2 minutes to go. The officials didn't seem sure about the possession, and Ted Valentine points to Tony Padilla. Let's go to the monitor.
Well, he called that Jordan Bell was out of bounds when he was touching the ball. Yep, that was the last one. That wasn't that he was out of bounds, that he knocked it out of bounds. And it did look like with that left hand, Jordan Bell knocked the ball all the way out to the sideline.
Yep, the only question is, did it graze Joel Berry after it leaves the hand of...
Couldn't tell from that angle.
Yeah,
it looked like it went under his arm.
Yeah. And it'd have to be a more conclusive angle than that to give the ball back to Oregon, because as you said, the important thing is the call on the floor was Carolina basketball, and unless there's clear proof to overturn the call, they'll stick with the call.
Here's an angle that should... Yep. Bell was the last one to touch it. So this should be over quickly.
Yep. But it never is.
That's a good point. It never is, and you wonder if the rules committee needs to take a look at how long this takes.
We had a couple at the end of the first game that took ridiculously long.
Because I don't think it's good enough to say, well, you have to get it right. You know, they made a call, and you know, it's not the Zapruder film. If it's not judged in a certain amount of time, then clearly it's inconclusive.
The official's still over there.
I don't think this is that hard of a call.
And it's going to be Carolina ball. Seemed to be the right situation. So work to do for Dana Altman, 58-year-old native of Nebraska. Done a terrific job in 28 years as a Division I coach. 1 year at Marshall, 4 at Kansas State, 16 at Creighton, now 7 at Oregon, but he had not been to the Final Four as a head coach prior to tonight. Oh, he's won 597 games as a D1 coach. Carolina handled the pressure, and they'll yank it back out. It's still 20 to shoot and 1:45 to go in regulation.
I would let Kennedy Meeks touch the ball in the post. North Carolina's had Joel Berry drive a couple of times, and his ankles aren't in good enough shape to be able to finish those plays.
Ooh, Brooks thought he had the tie-up, but I think Ted Valentine is calling him for the foul that'll foul him out of the game. And a huge blow to the comeback hopes of Oregon. Brooks, he said something to Ted Valentine, who just started back at him, as if to say, you better get off this court. Well, he does grab him by the shoulder before he gets to the ball.
Yeah, there's not much question it was a foul.
So Brooks is a junior, but it's possible it could be the last game of his career.
Just could not get untracked on the offensive end.
So he's 2 for 11 from the floor.
With North Carolina missing offensive opportunities, missing free throws, Oregon still has an opportunity here. There's plenty of time.
But boy, it hurts without Brooks, their conference player of the year, their leading scorer, and not many options off that bench.
And they still have Tyler Dorsey and Jordan Bell.
Now, those are the guys you think would get it. Perhaps an open three from the 2 guards. Ennis tried to force it up there. Bell the putback. And a timeout called by Dana Altman with his team within 4. 1:18 to go.
Now it's an issue of Oregon putting on full court pressure. And I don't think that the Ducks want to foul North Carolina. Give the Tar Heels an opportunity to turn the ball over. See if you can get a quick trap. Make some non-handlers handle it and bring it up.
Roy Williams and Dana Altman go a long way back, matching wits. Dana, as we said, was at Kansas State for 4 years, while Roy Williams was at Kansas. A lot of friendships, a lot of respect among the 4 coaches in this Final Four. Glad to see Dana Altman get his due. For a long time, so well regarded by his peers. Not a real demonstrative guy, not a self-promoter. I think a lot of people around the country aren't aware of what a wonderful job he's done wherever he's been.
Just a great basketball coach. He was born in Nebraska. You mentioned he coached with Lon Kruger. He's a junior college coach, but coached with Lon Kruger at Kansas State, then took over for Lon Kruger.
And he's earned his way to where he is. He was a walk-on junior college player back in his early days. He's an Eagle Scout. Whoops, Jackson turns it over. My first assist of the tournament.
Well, that's why you don't want to foul. Now, this game is a long way from being over. Just a really poor possession, catching the ball essentially in the coffin corner, and instead of working your way out of the trap, just throwing it up for grabs and out of bounds.
Down by only 4. Approaching 1 minute to go. 4-3. Pritchard short. Big miss. Berry the rebound. Pinson fouled by Dorsey. Roy Williams looking back toward his bench as if to say, why are we in a big hurry to go to the basket? I guess if you get the easy 2, you take it, but it wasn't an uncontested 2, and really time just as important.
No, I think you take that. There's way too much time now to start milking the clock in a 2-possession game. I think what Roy's worried about, too, is also missing layups. Yeah. They've had so many opportunities to solve this game away, and they can't do it. They can't make a shot.
2 fouls on Dorsey. Roy Williams already in the Naismith Memorial Basketball Hall of Fame in beautiful Springfield, Massachusetts. 74 NCAA tournament wins. Only Mike Krzyzewski with 91 has more. Roy's coached in 5 national title games between Kansas and North Carolina, trying to get to a 6th on Monday night. Trying to win his 3rd national title, all in North Carolina. North Carolina's 19 out of 23 from the line, so both teams have been outstanding from the stripe. Dorsey. Pinson was up in the air, fell down and lost the ball. Dorsey, a good look at a 3. Yes! What a bounce and roll for Oregon to get within 3 with all kinds of time left. 42 seconds remaining in regulation time.
Theo Pinson looked like he had that defensive rebound and looked like he got undercut a little bit. Wasn't able to get it, but kicking it back out, we always talk about how a kick out after an offensive rebound, that's the best time to take a 3, and that touched every bit of this rim before falling through and making this a 1-possession game.
Well, when you're as hot as Dorsey has been from beyond the arc, 65% the tournament coming in, you get those kind of rolls. 3 out of 7 tonight from the arc. Last 5 games, he is 23 for 41 from three-point land. He might have another shot at it.
Tyler Dorsey averaged 14 points a game on the season. Last 5 games coming into this one, he's averaging 24. He's not a hotter player in the country.
If you're Dana Altman, do you play it out all the way down defensively?
Yes.
And know that if you get a stop, you'll get the ball back with time, or do you foul and try to extend the game?
No, I think you play this out. Full court pressure. Job number 1 for North Carolina right now is get the ball in bounds. But North Carolina's been shaky handling the ball, shaky handling pressure in this second half. And I say that you give them the opportunity to turn the ball over.
That's 8 straight games with 20 plus for Mr. March. Tyler Dorsey. What a tournament he's had. 24 against Iona, 27 against Rhode Island, 20 against Michigan, 27 against Kansas.
And had only 4 in the first half of this one, not a single field goal, and 17 points in the second half.
Full court pressure. Meeks can run the baseline. Into Pinson, and now Jackson. They go to double. The ball keeps moving for Carolina. Down to a half minute to go. The winner will play Gonzaga Monday night for the national championship. There, he looked like he started to slip as he started the dribble. 10 on the shot clock. Pinson guarded by Ennis. Pinson, tough shot. It falls off to Bell. He goes down and keeps the dribble alive. They don't have a timeout. Pritchard, 9 seconds to go. Underneath it goes Keith Smith. 6 seconds to go. They're still down by 1. They have to foul, and they grab Kennedy Meeks with 5.2 to go. Wow. What a sequence. 4 fouls now on Tyler Dorsey.
Oregon electing to play it out. They wind up getting the rebound. Very fortunate not to get a walk there when Jordan Bell went down. But I think the smart play of taking the 2, extending the game.
Now they're over at the monitor, and this is something that Dick Vitale and I talked about before. It's part of the situation that I can't stand. Oregon doesn't have any timeouts.
Yes.
I mean, if they were just marching down the line and shooting, Dana Altman doesn't have all this opportunity to coach up his team like this.
Well, they're looking at the clock to see if the clock didn't start and didn't stop on time. Not a fan of this unless you know there's a clear error. You're freezing the free throw shooter, and as you say, you're giving a timeout to a team that doesn't have one. So that's something that's...
It's almost as if in these situations, Jay, they should make the players in the game on both teams stand over by midcourt away from their bench.
They can, but I don't think it's necessary that you have to go to the... Yeah, you have to go to the free throw.
That would work if the coach could yell really loud.
Maybe we'd go back and get the cone of silence from the Get Smart show.
So Meeks will go to the line. 3 out of 4 tonight. 2 shots. They put 0.6 of a second back, 5.8 from 5-2. Meeks for the season, 64%, one of their worst. But he's been a star throughout this NCAA tournament. 2 shots. Whoa.
Oregon, make or miss, is going to have a chance to win this game.
Win the game. Even if he makes it, they could tie it with a 2. You'd have to think if they get a good look at a 3, they'd take it. I wouldn't like their chances without Brooks in an overtime. Undermanned as they are already. Meeks. No! Pinson tipped it out! A huge play! And Joel Berry is fouled by Pritchard with 4 seconds to go.
Boy, that's the second time on a missed free throw that Theo Pinson has made a huge play. Earlier in the game, got a second chance opportunity, just took it right out of the hands of Jordan Bell.
Bell really not very good technique there at all.
Well, he's gassed.
Yep.
That's absolutely right. It was not a block out, and then it just allowed Theo Pinson to go up over the top. But I do think that all the banging of bodies against these big guys, he was just worn out.
Whoa, 3 misses in a row here in less than 2 seconds. As we noted earlier, Berry's one of the top 10 free throw shooters in school history, but hasn't had a good night tonight shooting from anywhere.
Maybe better off missing it.
Yeah, he might be. And it looked like he tried to. Meeks the rebound. And boy, was that dangerous. It looked like he went over the back of the Oregon player, and Carolina gets its shot at a redemption in the championship game tomorrow night. As you can see,
China's Fan and Korea's Kim, and it was a tight race from start to finish. At the finish line, only a quarter of a second separated the field, but it was China's Fan who edged out Saint-Gelais for the win. Saint-Gelais went on to win silver in the 1500 meter as well, which is why she's at the top of the leaderboard with Elise Christie. Here is the Canadian.
I don't want to do like weird things or trying to do different things, because honestly it's working what I'm doing this weekend. Yes, I'm a little bit nervous, but I had the red helmet last year, so I know how it works. So we'll see tomorrow, but I'm confident.
In the men's 1500 meter final, Quebec's Sam Girard.
Rotterdam has been rocking throughout these World Championships. The Dutch turned on to short track, and Katrina, they love any kind of speed skating in this country. They call this venue the Ahoy, and they're ready to set sail.
It's been absolutely incredible. What an environment for these skaters at these World Championships.
1,000 meter semi-finals as Marianne Saint-Gelais, who you just saw, continues her road to an overall title. She's second. And right now, behind Suzanne Schulting of the Netherlands, who, without question, is the local favorite and a youngster on the rise.
Schulting is considered the female Shinky Kernect. She is just persevering and just a fighter in every single race. She's only 19 years old. But the one that Canadians are watching, moving into second place, Marianne Saint-Gelais. She has the red cover on her helmet, which means she is leading at this point of the competition. She has never won gold in the overall classification. As she moves in front of Schulting, a nice inside pass to take the lead.
Marianne Saint-Gelais was second overall at last year's World Championships, 27 years old, from San Felice.